Hi, my name is Wayne. I am your friendly digital classroom officer, and today's video is all about Google Sites. This is such an incredible tool for young students in particular to gain a sense of success. And importance because they actually get to connect with the real world. But in saying that, it's also a fantastic tool for any other student who's just starting out in the idea of web design or perhaps uploading parts of themselves to the internet. It's such a simple tool, but it packs such a powerful punch. It's incredible. So in our share and collaborate column, of course, we always start on our landing page. We've got sites new down here. And there is an old sites, and you can convert your old sites to new sites. But for the purpose of today's video, we are just going to explore this new sites video. Now, my one suggestion that I can make to you today is please start small. Now, there are a couple of different options along here from the template gallery, and if you want to explore that yourself, that's great because sometimes a blank canvas can be a little bit daunting. We are going to start with a blank canvas today because this is not about making a pretty site today. This is just about making sure that you understand the tools that we've got in here. So as the page loads, you end up with a title page up the front here, and then there are a range of columns just down here on the right-hand side. So you can see that we've got insert, pages, and themes. Now, insert is where you're going to do most of your building. Text box, images. If you wanted to embed using a link, you can do that as well. So, for example, you might choose to embed a YouTube video. You can get the embed link from there, or you can upload and embed documents straight from your Google Drive. So you might have actually been on one of these sites before where a PowerPoint slide or a Google Doc has been embedded into the site itself. And all that happens is you go through your drive, you select which one you would like. So let's come down to foundations. I'll just add in one of the templates that I like to use. Here we are. So we'll just add in our wrap template. Just insert that. So I've selected the document, I've inserted it into here, and then it will just load. And I can have a play around with the size as well. But as you can see, this now has, we can go through and run through all of those slides as well. So you can make that open up in a new tab, you can delete it, but that will go through and your user can then go through and click the slide deck. So if your students are confident in using something like slides, and perhaps you're at the stage now where you're trying to publish their work to the world, Sites is such a great tool. And using the digital learning selector, another fabulous creation from one of our teams in at the department, there are templates for student learning portfolios. So you don't even have to get this set up. You can actually share this with a student, give them ownership of it, and they can start to upload their work. Now, editing is as simple as highlighting the text that you would like to have, and then you can start to edit in here with all of your usual friends for your text editing options. Now, if I wanted to start to add some things onto here, I just come down and I can either select that, and then on the left-hand side, you'll notice that I can and change some of the options here, including duplicating that section, which does come in handy when you need to, when you've already created something you really like and then you need to put it onto another page, you can do that. But down here, if I click off that, I can start to add in some layouts. And these are just pre-loaded ideas for us, and then it's all laid out, it's all looking good. We can just add in the images as we go along. Now we can, as soon as you click on it, it's got all of the options that you can put in there. One of the great things that you can do, of course, the ones that we've had a look from there, you can upload, you can select an image, and that's just the same layout as it is in all of our other options. So you can go by Drive, URL, Google Image Search, or from on your device. But when we go through into here, you've also got the option to upload things, or to embed, rather, not to upload, to embed a YouTube video. Bear in mind that students who aren't in stage 6 may not be able to view the YouTube video and definitely won't be able to at school. You can embed a calendar. So if you were using this for your parent community, for example, or maybe a community of schools, perhaps it's even just your local, your colleagues on site at school in your stage group or your faculty, you can add those in there, and you can embed a map as well. So lots and lots of different options. But if you don't want to add in any of these things, we've got some single options down in this column along the right-hand side. So we can add in some collapsible text. And what this does is it gives us a header that we can have in here. So you might have a student who's writing an informative text about dogs, and then they might add in, 3 interesting facts about dogs. And then what happens after that? So we'll go 1, 2, 3. There we are. Beautiful. Some interesting facts about dogs. And then when you click on that, it just expands and drops down, and then it goes back up. It's a great way for your students, or yourself even, to build information back into your site without it becoming too overwhelming. Can't seem to get that up. You can add in a table of contents as well, and that will sit across the top like a thread for your users to really easily navigate the page. You can add in images. Now you could have 3 images, you could have 20 images, and then as the user clicks, those images start to rotate. You can add in something really simple like a button. So if we wanted to come down here and add in a button, we might call this a test button. Now you can either link to something that's in this website itself, so you can link to another page, or you can link to an external website. So you might want to link to the Department of Education website, for example. So if we type in www.education.nsw.gov.au, yes, I do know that is the site name. Then when we click on that, when the user clicks on that, that would open up in a new tab for us. You can add in a divider to help make your items easier to navigate. Now, what we can do, because my divider is selected, if I click and hold on that and then drag it, I can start to divide all of my page up and down as we go. Now that works for every section that you add in to here as well. So if I highlight the whole section, and notice how it's got the blue box around the outside, whereas if I wanted to highlight the image, it puts a blue box around the image. If I wanted to do the text, blue box goes around the text, nice and easy. And to highlight an entire section, what I do is I click on the side of it, and then all I have to do is drag it and drop it around. So if I wanted to shuffle that around, there we are, they've been swapped over. And this is where we can start to go through, and I could add on an emphasis. Perhaps I want to change the color of this one down here. Let's make that emphasis blue. Oops, selected the wrong one. But you can see really easily, you can start to build quite a powerful website that's starting to look really, really good. Now imagine if we'd have filled all of those pre-filled options down on here. Heading back over into our right-hand column, you can add a placeholder. So if you know that something is coming through, but you're not quite sure what you want it to be just yet, you can add that in. And then we've got all of our G Suite for Education candidates down here, and you can embed these straight into your site. So that's looking pretty good for a one-page site, but what happens if I want to have multiple pages? It's really easy. I come over here to Pages in my right-hand column. Down on the bottom, I click on New Page, and we might have this page as our maths page, for example. And then we could have an English page, and we could have a Mandarin page. And you can add as many pages as you like. Now, what you'll have noticed is that up the top here, I can jump onto all of these different ones, and I can come home. Now, if I wanted to add on some more buttons to navigate within those pages, come back here, I can insert a button. Let's call this our maths button, and guess which page we're going to link it to. Now, as you can see, this pre-populates. So a lot of this work is done for you. You don't have to know how to build a website in order to build a website. Now, I want that to get moved, so I'll bring it up to here. Whoa. And what I can do is I can extend that if I would like. And then you can start to shuffle these around as well, so you can have multiple buttons. The last thing that I'll show you is over here on themes. You can actually change the theme of your page, and it will go through. Now, what I will tell you is that this does it for the whole website. So you can't have one page in one theme, another page in another theme, etc., etc. But it does allow you some customization. It's not the most customization you will see, but it does allow you some customization. Now, we've whizzed through this, and the easiest way for you to explore this is, of course, to have a go yourself. Explore it with your students in your classroom. Why don't you learn alongside them? That's how I did it. I did it with my Year 1 kids one year. We learned how to build a website using Google Sites. If I want to see it, I can come up here and I can preview my site. Now, one of the best things about this is that it gives you a couple of options for previewing. So as you can see, I've got my pages spread across the top here. This is where we've fixed up our document, and then we've got, we can add in our table of contents down here. But as I scroll down through the page, this is our slideshow, and as you can see, it's embedded straight in there. That's a template that I use, nothing interesting in there, but you get the idea. And then you can see all of the text disappears, and these would be filled with images. The text would be down the bottom, but you can start to see how these layouts work. And remember how we added an emphasis onto these? So we changed the color of this one, changed the color of this one, changed the color of this one. That starts to make our website look like it's just been put together by a professional, but it's all done really, really simply in here. If I were to click on this, it would take me to the maths page, and then I would land on the maths pages. If I wanted to go back home, I can do that really, really simply. Now, I want to show you our drop down. So I come up here and I can click on dogs. Oh, I thought that was hyperlinked. Turns out it's not. There we are. We've all learned something new today. I come down here and then it's got my dog facts on there, and I can pop that back up. Like I said, a really great way, those drop-down tools, to add a lot of information into your page without overwhelming your viewer with a wall of text. Now, that's viewing it on a computer. If I wanted to view it on a tablet, this is the screen that my user would see. And if I wanted to view it on a phone, this is the view that my user would see. So as you can see, these layouts really start to change. On the phone, you can see that we get a hamburger menu, really, really similar for what we're used to using as well. So there are lots and lots of different ways that we can view our document, we can view our website rather, and we know that it's optimized for user experience. So there's no need to create different websites for different type of users. Now, if I exit that, it brings me back onto this page here. And what I can do is I can publish my site. Now, you need to name your site, and that will give you a unique URL. And then you can come down here and we can manage this, who has access to this. So you can create a site that only goes to people within the Department of Education, for example. So if you were making something for your colleagues that you just wanted to be kept within the department, you can keep that there. Or you can, of course, change it to anyone with the link, or restricted. So if your students are creating a site as a learning portfolio, they might be able to share it with mum, dad, stepdad, grandparents, and a cousin somewhere, for example. And you can manage that, or you can help your students manage that as well. And so once we've done this, let's see if that is available. Testing site is available. We click publish, and then your site will be able to pop up. And what happens then is on the right-hand side of that, you can view your published site as well. If you wanted to collaborate with somebody, you can share it, of course, with others, and then you can type in their names and you can make them an owner of that, which means that they're able to edit this site as well. So full collaboration on here. And if, of course, you want to share the link with anybody, you can copy that link and share away. Again, there is so much that you can do with this. So I beg you, start small. Just make something small, maybe make something for a friend. I did a birthday card for a friend, and then it turned into a trivia night that we did on sites. But start small and build those skills. Have a bit of a play around. Make an ugly site first, a little bit like this one here. It's not too pretty, but that's okay because we were just learning how to use all of our tools. So we've got our pages there, and of course our insert button with our templates or the individual items. The one last thing that I want to show you is when you get adept at knowing how to do this, you can, of course, just double click, and this gives us our short insert option. So we can upload, add in an image, embed, or insert from Drive, or we can just add a text box. So once you're a little bit more confident, you can just double click on your site and you can start to add those things in really quickly without having to come over here onto the right-hand insert column. I really hope that you have enjoyed this session today. It was a bit of a whirlwind, but I hope that you see how easy it can be for you and your students to build phenomenal looking sites that are easily shared, easily managed, maintain student privacy, but still get that access out into the real world. I really hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you do have any questions, please shout out. I'm Wayne.Forbes5. Or you can jump into the Currents, ask a question, and I'm always happy to answer. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great afternoon.